Have you ever asked yourself how they did the No Bangs Francie style from the early 70s? The one with a big bang. Let me know in the comments if you like No Bangs Francie. I'm Busy Bee from Germany. I'm a long-time Barbie collector and a Barbie dog for almost 10 years. This channel is more than your one-stop Barbie repair workshop. One of my next projects will be this Francie. She will going to become a No Bangs Francie. So I promised you a while ago that we are going to reroute Francie, and now the time has come. So for reasons of easiness I removed the head from the body and I will start to separate all hair. Here we are going to make her a brown tone like the original was, so that we come close to the original. So now let's start. I got this Francie head more than 2 years ago, but I had the problem to find a suitable body for her. I wanted a good Francie body, not one with broken legs, and I had to search for a while. That's why this project came later than planned, but better later than never. She's of course a case for the Barbie Repair Cafe. Let's sit down and watch the repair. As you can see, the head is already clean and has no rests of any hairs left from her former life. The only indication is that she was a brunette before. The color of her hair area is brunette. No doubt that she was a former brunette. The color I use her is cocoa brown. I admit the process of rerouting is rather boring and it really takes some time until you can see the progress here. For this reason I have not filmed the whole reroute, but just parts from it. Filmed over the incredible amount of 9 working days. Incredible, isn't it? Now let me know, how long do you need for your reroutes? I rerouted 1 hour per day. Maybe it's good to give you some details about the hair length. I use the full hair length here because it's easier to cut than to cut too short and then you have to redo it again. The streaks are separated by hand here. You have to do it several times until you get a feeling for the right amount of hair per streak. Keep in mind that the one for the eyelashes is much thinner, like mentioned in my secret of the real eyelashes video. I'm going to link you this video above. Have a look. After 1 hour we have this streak done. She's looking a little bit like a punker, isn't she? I really wish I could work in the speed I show you here in my video. That would really be amazing. So this is my little punker after the second round, and you see she's starting to get more hair. On my 3rd day I worked on the circles so that you can see at least the circles starting to look like circles during the reroute. For me it's easier to work this way. But hey, this is my personal preference. You can do it in any way you like. So here I have my little punker girl after round 3 of rerouting. You can see a little progress, she's getting more hair. Maybe I should give you some details about the circles that I just talked about. In the production, the sewing machines did these hairs, I think, in circles, and that's why you see this circular pattern on the head when you remove all the hair. And in my opinion it's the easiest way to reroute it all when you follow the given pattern on the head. In my opinion it's the easiest part to start with the crest part and then you work your way out around. This has the advantage that you don't have any hairs in your way. I think you can definitively see what I mean here.
after my 4th round, the further you continue with the reroute, the more you can see, and I think that's the case that we have here. You can see my progress is really looking like a progress here, and as I already mentioned, it's time consuming, but I think it's worth the effort. As you probably know, No Bangs Francie are hard to find and they are very expensive in the meantime, so that you possibly think twice about buying one or not, or maybe think about doing your own No Bangs Francie doll, like I do it here. And from my opinion, I can also tell you that it's the easier, the further away from the crest part you are.
So that's my little punker today. You can see the hair is becoming fuller. We have more hair here, and I think I will still need 2 or 3 days at least for finishing my reroute. Let's have a look how fast I am in the next days.
The next day I worked mainly on the back of her head to reroute the part there.
So this is my Francie head 1 day later. I think I still need 2 or 3 days to finish her, but you can see we have progress, especially in the front.
The next day I started mainly to work on the front part. I can just tell you from what I have done, but this part needed a really big amount of hair here.
Here's our Francie head 1 day later. I think I need 1, maybe 1.5 days more before we can start to style her. Have a look. She is getting a huge amount of hair. So this is my next round. You can see only part of the front is missing here. I think I have to do 1 more day and then we should be ready with this head.
And here's my last round. I only have to do the bangs part, the no bangs part that is famous for this doll here. But it took a while and lasted longer than I expected.
So I have in here hot water and I'm going to sand the head back on for my next steps.
Now I would like to steam the hair in place with my new steam machine here. I hope it works, and I am going to steam every part of the hair separately. As you can see, I started with the bottom of the hair and steamed. I attached a rubber band to keep the hairs in place. Then I let it dry and steamed the next part, which I also secured with a rubber band in its position. Not to forget to mention that I used a lot of steam here for this hairstyle. Then I redid the whole steps you already saw here, because I was not sure if that would work out like I have hoped. But it turned out that it was no problem at all.
And then today I want to do this part here, so that we can make this part go over me.
The idea was good, but the hair was very uncooperative, and so I had to do this several times. At the end, one of my little orthodontics elastics helped me to secure the hair in place.
So let's use the rubber band here to secure it. And then I think we will have a look tomorrow again at her. So for the front part I have the idea to make at least a ponytail, and then we have to make the trace of the rubber band here that she originally had. And I'm going to use a orthodontic elastic for this, at least that's my idea. So for this step I have to steam her again. So I hope that I can try it again. Maybe we can get it behind her ears and use the ears as a kind of stopper. So let's steam her again a little bit. So my No Bangs Francie project is dry now, and the next step that I want to do is to cut the first layer of hair so that we can start to style her. And what I have to do is to take the rubber band off. Now we have 4 layers of hair, and I want to start to cut this part here so that we could start to cut here. I would cut in the first step only to her hips, about here. Yeah, I think it's a good idea to cut at first. And then I will fix this hair part here, and then I have to imagine a method how to get this up there and keep it there for 1 day so that she will get steamed again, and that we can prepare the final style. So just give me a sec. Where is my rubber band?
What came into my mind in the meantime was that I had to do the up style somehow in her underwool too.
But I have at least an idea where to cut. So, and I would say we cut the hair here. It's no problem to cut further, but we don't have the problem that it's too short then. So that's not perfectly equal here. One side is longer than the other one. So let's have a look. Did I get it? So. I know it's longer than we need it to be, but I want to have some room to play. So I hope we can get this down a little bit more. I know that's far too long here, but I want to have the possibility to cut it to adjust it more. So now let's steam. On the sides it's of course longer. So let's cut here a little bit. My next logical step would be to steam the next portion of hair. So I would say she has enough hair. I would say she has definitely enough hair. So that should not be a big problem. So now let's also try to do the rest of the hair here. I can adjust if I have to. I simply want to cut today. So I cut them longer than I needed them to be, but I want to be sure that I have still enough length here on the head so that I can adjust my cut. So this is just a basic cut. And then we will have a look at her tomorrow again. So my first idea did not work out and I tried to do the curl with pipe cleaners. Now let's have a look how this... I'm going to steam her in a minute and then we will have a look at her tomorrow again. And I have to force the hair to stay in place somehow, and that's why we are going to use pipe cleaners here. So the problem I got from the curling is that I wanted to have a reliable curl, but I wanted the hair to stay all in one position and not disappear in any direction. And that's what my first try was okay for, but it showed me that I had to attach something somehow to make the hair stay in better position. Because you see here we have the short ones and they also have to stay in the position I give them, and I don't want them to disappear. And I hope I can fix the problem with a rubber. I know that's a very weird looking construction that I have here now, but I have attached it to the head and I'm going to steam her in this position again and hope that we get a nice curl so that I can cut her tomorrow. Let's have a look how this developed in the last 24 hours. Let's have a look here. So let's open it. I think that's looking good and I think we can cut the rest now. I admit that's the part I'm always most afraid of to cut. And when you have cut, you can't make it reverse, then it's cut. We can't go back. But now let's have a look. Let's compare. Have I forgotten anything? So, wait, that's our Francie No Bangs project. Let me know, what do you think about this stone? We can make her hair more poofy if we want, we have enough hair under her hair here, so that she is looking more like original No Bangs Francie. Let me know in the comments. What do you think? My dear viewers, I hope you liked my little video in which I showed you how to reproduce the No Bangs Francie hairstyle, and you are enthusiastic about this video. I hope you have learned something here. You share, like and subscribe. Question of the day is, how many reroutes have you done yourself? Are you willing to do these time-consuming reroutes yourself? Let me know in the comments below. See you in the next weeks. Your Busy Bee from Germany. Bye!